Have you ever met a celebrity who asked you, "Do you know who I am?" and you said no? 1. This is a true story that was shocking to me at the time as I was 9 years old, but it has a funny ending. My parents went away for a weekend one summer and left my 15-year-old sister in charge. In the afternoon the next day, a lot of people started showing up at my house. My sister strongly encouraged me to go play with the boy next door, which I did, but I got curious later and came back. There were many cars at my parents' house and now the front door was locked. I climbed a tree and looked in the window. I was shocked to see my sister and her friends drinking beer with all these boys. I knocked on the door until someone I didn't know opened it and I went right upstairs. In the kitchen was my sister, some friends of hers I knew, and a bunch of guys all drinking. I was demanding answers from my sister. Our parents were not the type that condoned underage drinking. As I was talking to her about my concerns that mom and dad would find out, my sister said to me, "Don't worry, it's not really beer in these cans. It's chocolate milk." Now I was very confused. Then her friend who lived next door handed me a beer can and said, "Try it." I took a sip and sure enough it was chocolate milk. They had rinsed out an empty and poured some chocolate milk from the fridge in it while I was talking to my sister. I now had no concerns at all and went back out to play. When my parents came home my mom asked me, "What did you do yesterday?" I said I played with Mike. Jenny had a party with all these people that were drinking chocolate milk inside beer cans. My mother looked at me with a very strange look but didn't say a word. Very soon after that I heard a bit of a commotion downstairs, which is where my sister's room was. My parents opened her closet and there were 2 large trash bags filled with all the empties. My sister was not happy with me for a while after that. That was probably the only time in my life we had a fight, but now we love to tell people that story. 2. My sister was about 2 at the time, maybe a touch shy. I was watching a film in the breakfast room. I can't remember which one. She toddled her way in and said, "Can I watch with you, Larly?" Begrudgingly, because I was a 15-year-old, moody, miserable teenager, I said yes, but she wasn't allowed to just talk all the way through. To her credit, bless her little heart, the only time she spoke was to ask me who people were when they came on the screen. Once she'd asked once, she didn't ask again. The end was quite sad, and I'm a bit of a crier, but I was trying to hide it. She turned to look at me, her little face was concerned. Are you crying, Larly?" I huffed and told her that I wasn't. "Yes, you're crying, Larly." Mistakenly, I thought that would be the end of it. The film finished, I wiped my eyes and she stood up. I thought she was leaving. But, no. She walked over to the DVD player, she rewound it to when I started crying. Then she waddled back to me, clambered clumsily into my lap, took my face in her sweet little hands, forced me to look her dead in the eye and said, "I like to see you cry, Larly." Disturbed me to no end. I remember telling my mom that she'd birthed a psychopath and then my mom howling with laughter. 3. My sister was always scared of my mom due to how abusive she was to us growing up. One night my mom was highly intoxicated and had chased me into the yard and was relentlessly beating me. I couldn't get her off of me and all of a sudden my little sister, 13 years old at the time, jumped on her back hitting her and telling her to get off of me. Finally my mom did and proceeded inside where she then passed out. I'm still in shock that my baby sister conquered her fears to save me. 4. When we were in our late teens, one of my younger sisters shocked me in a funny but sad way when she said to me, "Watch this." She then asked our mom to show her how to iron a blouse. I was sure my sister knew very well how to iron her own clothes. Our mom came scurrying over and proceeded to iron with careful instructions and flourishes. Then my sister winked at me and said, "That's how it's done." When she saw how shocked I was, she said, "Well, it made her happy, didn't it?" She was right, it made our mom very happy. I knew my sister was fun, smart, and a little spoiled, but it changed the way I looked at her forever, and that was well over 30 years ago. BTW, she is still my favorite sister despite her tendency to manipulate. I just laugh at her. 5. Having a holiday for the Republic Day, Dee, elder sister, and I were sleeping. It was 9-ish of the morning when suddenly the bed started shaking wildly. Mama was there yelling something at the top of her lungs. I saw Dee struggling with the huge blanket while the 5-year-old me was trapped inside it. It was the Gujarat earthquake of 2001. We lived on the freaking 3rd floor. Dee that day did something that shows her love towards me. She lifted me up along with the blanket and ran behind Mama. Everybody was frantically descending the stairs and the skinny girl was running down the shaking building, all the while carrying a huge heavy blanket which had her sister inside it somewhere, who was still half asleep. We reached the ground safely. Earthquake lasted for approximately 3 minutes, killing thousands of people and leaving lakhs of them homeless. I will never stop feeling proud of my sister's bravery that day. She truly shocked everyone. 6. My sister used to have a DVD shelf. It had a couple of glass doors that slid from side to side. Anyway, I was sitting in the living room watching TV when all of a sudden my sister storms out of her bedroom, walks up to the DVD shelf and strikes the glass door 3 times with her fist. This was shocking because she is not a violent person. She went and sat down with a trail of blood behind her. She didn't cry or say a word. She was just really mad. She eventually had to go to the hospital and turned out she broke her hand. I do not know what her husband at the time said to her to make her so furious, but I can't imagine being so mad that I would strike something full force and not cry my eyes out from a broken bloody hand. That was quite a sight.